In the video that I uploaded just before this one, I told you guys that Joe's birthday cake came out so good. Well, that's when I was sitting in the car changing my shoes, and this is why I thought it came out good, because this is what it looked like. It's my lemon pudding bundt cake from my cake book. But it's the half recipe, so that's in the book that's called No More Leftovers. And it came out really, really good, guys.
You're watching the Bare Pantry Show.
Sadly though, after we came home and we cut the cake, I told you guys later on in the video that the cake, it was trash. So let me show you why. See all this dense stuff in the middle here? I think because the oven went off and the temperature dropped, right? By the time I put it back on, the cake was already destroyed. Yes, it came up, you know, because of the baking powder. That's Evie at the door. But see? Let her in, babe. You can let her in.
What?
Let her in. So, let the noise of the door stop. Joe was slicing off the top. Joe, you're such a trooper. You were slicing off the top. Oh. So I woke up this morning and I said, we're gonna make this birthday boy a brand new cake, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Let's take a look at how we make this lemon pudding bundt cake, and this is a small one, 6x2. So let's go into my book, No More Leftovers. Pick up a copy from my website, which is now up and running again, barepantryshow.com. So here are the dry ingredients first of all. So it's gonna be flour, cornstarch, and baking powder, and it's very little baking powder. It does call for salt, but I'm not gonna add any salt because I'm gonna use a salted butter, so that's why I had the extra bowl, okay? So now let's get into the wet ingredients. Milk, regular milk, couple of eggs, vegetable oil. So this cake is going to be so moist because it uses two fats, butter and vegetable oil. What I'm showing you right here is pudding mix. Now it's supposed to be lemon pudding mix, but I'm out, so I'm going to use vanilla, and then I'm going to use a lot of lemon extract to make up for it. Yay! So here's the butter and the sugar, showing you all the rest of the ingredients, right? So let's begin. I'm going to crack my 2 eggs so I can have them ready while I beat the egg and the butter. No, while I beat the butter and the sugar. All right, here we go, guys. So I have this little hand mixer. It's like 15 bucks for this thing. Pick up one, guys. You're not going to regret it, okay? So I do have a KitchenAid that my Uncle Les and his wife gave me when Jory was first born. Jory's 34, so that thing is 34 years old and it still works. But I hardly ever use it because this is easier to clean up. So let me go ahead and scrape the edge. And I always clean off my spatula too, because these spatulas have a little groove in it and the batter gets in there. So you want to go ahead and clean it off and then beat it some more. We want to make sure that the butter and the sugar becomes very creamy before we add the eggs. So add the eggs one at a time, because we want to make sure each one is well incorporated so that the batter can become fluffy, okay? All right, so add the second egg. You know, with certain cakes, this is the only time you can really beat it really well, because at some point they want you to fold and fold and fold and not knock down all the stuff that you've built up, right? So I'm adding the lemon extract. I'm not going to put any vanilla to change the taste. The vegetable oil. If I had the lemon pudding mix, I would put that and then put vanilla extract instead of lemon extract. But because I don't have the lemon pudding mix, I've opted to put the lemon extract, right? So here's the recipe, guys. Screenshot it. I freeze framed it for you. Now let's take care of the dry ingredients. The flour, the cornstarch, and the baking powder. Not baking soda now, but baking powder. Let's get this all together. Give this a mix. The dog next door is trying to get Evie to go over there and start a fight. And then put a third or maybe half. It's a small cake, so maybe half. Work it in first with a spatula because you don't want a plume of flour to go everywhere. And we're gonna add this dry ingredients alternately with the wet, and the wet ingredient is gonna be the milk and the lemon pudding mix. We're gonna put the pudding mix into the milk, okay? See right here? Put the pudding mix in. This also makes the cake soft. I have to record my stuff outside because when Jada's getting ready for work, guys, she's using the blow dryer and it's just noisy inside. So I hope you guys don't mind. So let's add some of the wet. And then mix real well and then add the rest of the dry. Okay. And I have 2 small bundt pans, but I think one is like super small, and then I got one that's a little size up. I'm gonna show you both of them right here. And I think I'm gonna use the bigger one like I did with the first cake. You know, in Belize, when your cake don't come out good, when it comes out with that, I don't know how to describe that clamminess in the middle. They say the cake is bruku. So that cake was a bruku cake, okay? But it was because of the oven, all right? All right, so let's get back to making the cake. You always want to be scraping down the sides, okay? Make sure everything gets in there well. I'm gonna scrape all the rest of the stuff out of my measuring cup too. I don't leave anything behind. This is the Bare Pantry Show after all, guys. We don't waste anything, okay? Let's go ahead, scrape every little bit out. And always be checking the bottom of your bowl to make sure that there's no dry spots, all right? So I have the oven coming up the temperature already to 325. Most of the time, bundt cakes are baked slow and low. Okay. It's done. Let me clean off my beaters. If you hear planes flying above, we live about 10 miles from an airport, so you always hear them landing and taking off. Here it is. The pan was greased and floured. I put it on this tray in case it boils over. And it took about 45 minutes. Look, some of it came off. So this is the next cake, guys. And I took it out from the pan, and even though I floured and greased and everything, I lost my top. See, we could put it right there. Just put those little pieces in. These pieces are good too. These are the crispy pieces. Put those pieces in there. You would decorate it with frosting. Nobody would know. So I cut it already. Look, guys, look. Woohoo! Where's that piece? Can you guys see the, okay, can you guys see the difference? All right. So this is a better cake. And he said, he's such a darling. He said, babe, you guys can put glaze on half. You can put glaze on half the cake. So that's what we're gonna do right now, okay? Did you find your phone? Okay, baby. So I took a big scoop and another little scoop. I'm going to put a little bit of water. Not too much water. And if it's too thin, add more icing sugar. I want you guys to stick around for this vlog. We just went to Costco to go pick up some wiper blades for Jada because it's raining, so she remembered she needed wiper blades. They're $7.99 each right now at Costco. Normally they're $10.99 each. But it beats AutoZone's price because they want $30-something, I believe, for a pair. So we went to go get that for Jada. And I want to make a small pumpkin pie. Because we cut the pumpkin yesterday, right? You guys saw that, right? Cut the pumpkin up. It's a little bit thick, so what I'm going to do is put a little bit of real lemon juice in there. Because it's a lemon pudding bundt cake after all. I mean, not put too much. I don't want it to get too thin. Huh, that might even be too much. As half a teaspoon. Okay. And how do I make this pumpkin pie? I think I'm going to do condensed milk. Let me taste this. Nice amount of lemon, guys. Let's see. We'll put it on the ugly side. You guys see? Woohoo! Jada's gonna love this. I already have that little piece cut out right here. So I think I'm gonna cut here just to mark the spot right here. So all this whole half is going to be for the birthday boy, and the next half is going to be for me, Jada, and Josh. That's if Josh wants any. He mostly like chocolatey stuff. And this is all we're doing. All right. Put some of this glaze on here. Two-tone cake. And what I'm gonna do right now is go figure which pie dough I want to use, because I don't do store-bought pie dough. So I have 3 different pie doughs in one of my books. I think it's in the Pantry Laid Bare. I think I have 3 different doughs in there. One that I use, that's a fancy one. One of the basic ones, which is the Belizean one. And then I have an apple pie one. So I'm gonna see which dough I want to use for the pumpkin. I don't know why I feel like the apple pie one would work for the pumpkin pie. I'll go ask Jada though. It's just enough, guys. Let me show you. I don't know what we're gonna do with this foolishness right here. Jada said she might make Halloween cake pops from it.
This is the Bear Pantry Show.
I did make the pumpkin pie from the pumpkin that we harvested, but I'm not going to show you that in this video because the video is getting too long. I do want to share some information with you though, guys. So yesterday I learned some pretty messed up news. So my Uncle Les, I spoke about him earlier in the video, letting you know that he and his wife gave me the KitchenAid. Well, when they got together in the late 1970s, his wife Kathy already had 3 boys from a prior marriage. Set of twins, John and Eddie. They were 7 years old at the time. And then the other boy, Brian, was between 3 and 5. I don't remember the age. So you've seen Brian on my show before, many, many years ago. And you've also seen my biological cousin, Megan, because they had 2 kids, Timmy and Megan. Timmy passed away a couple of years ago from a brain aneurysm. Incidentally, Kathy's mom passed away from a brain aneurysm. So I guess that stuff is genetic and it kind of skips around, right? Anyways, coming back to one of the twin boys, John, he had a daughter named Amanda back in the early 1990s. He couldn't raise her, and neither could the mom, so Kathy and Leslie took her over, and they started to raise her as their, not even as their grandkid, as their kid, right? Mm-hmm. And so then they split up, they got divorced, and so then Kathy continued to raise Amanda on her own, and raise Amanda and Megan, right? Because my uncle died in 2002. So Amanda, when she turned like 18, she got married to this like older guy. I want to say he was in his late 30s. He already had an ex-wife with 5 kids, and he got together with her and they had twins because Amanda's dad is a twin. So let me cut away to that clip.
All right. Can you get up there? Amazing to get up there.
So what's the name of this one, Amanda?
That's Mason.
Hi, Mason. This is my little cousin, and he's got a twin. This is Jace. Hi, Jace. He's the one that's most shy.
He's really sad about missing space now.
And this is Amanda, my cousin. And Amanda's dad is a twin.
Yep.
Okay, so the twins were like, they look to be like between 6 and 9 months old in this video, right? I don't remember when they were born, but so they have to be at least pretty close to nearing 10. Mm-hmm. Because this was 9 years ago when I took that segment when my mom died, 2016. So after this video, I think Amanda and the husband split up, and the ex-wife is raising all 7 kids with him now, and Amanda went on the road with hobos and got on drugs and all type of stuff, and nobody has heard from her in years. Even up to when Kathy passed, Kathy didn't hear from her anymore. She came here like shortly after my mom passed, and we met at the mall. We didn't want to meet here because we didn't know who was coming with her, so Kathy was like, don't let nobody come to your house, you don't know who she's bringing there. And it was an old man. Joe, how old do you think that man was? That man looked 79. How old do you think that man was?
Oh, 55.
He had no teeth. Amanda was looking bad in her teeth too, and that pained my heart because Kathy put a lot of money into braces and stuff for her.
She never looked better than mine anyway.
It's the drugs. Poor baby. Anyways, I asked the other twin brother, Eddie, I asked his daughter yesterday in Facebook, have you guys ever heard from Amanda? Because I know Eddie was looking for her at one point. And she said, we found out 2 years ago that she passed away. So they found out on July 22nd, 2023, and she passed away July 20th, 2023. They found out 2 days later. And I don't know what they did. They cremated her. I don't know what happened to her. I'm interested now in finding out more. The twins have to be close to 10, and then she would have been 32 April that passed, so she died at 30. I don't know why the thing, I told you, I know, why does it hurt? kind of hurt me in my gut like this. And I think it's because she had a rough start, you know? She was born addicted to drugs. And then, I don't know. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Amanda. She's gone. I've always wondered where she is and if she's gonna pop up and say, Babsy, can you and Joe come meet me? She used to call us uncle and auntie though. Can you come meet me somewhere? Anyways, what do you want for lunch today, babe? You want me to like chop up that meat that you did 2 days ago and make some salsa to go with it, and we can put it on corn tortilla and kind of make a little tostada taco, whatever thing? All right, I'll see you guys on the next video.